My hair and even my eyebrows started shedding, and that was my body telling me you're missing something. I remember actually we traveled to Nigeria as a family, and I remember looking back at the photos and all of my hair was gone. And I couldn't understand why. I was eating meats, and that's protein, right? Eggs, that's protein. So I'm assuming, okay, I should really be growing a lot of hair, but no. So what it was telling me was that I was missing something. Hey, friend, welcome back to episode number 2. Since it's Valentine's week, I've been thinking about the word love. It is also my middle name. And for years, the way I treated my body looked nothing like it. My version of love was control, cutting calories, avoiding fats, bragging that I could survive on one meal a day because I wasn't hungry anyway. Honestly, I thought I was the flyest girl in the world because I could just eat one meal a day and be okay. Honestly, I believe the smaller I ate, the smaller I'd become. Instead, I just became tired, inflamed, hormonal. I was seriously a wreck and stuck at a weight that would not budge. One of the biggest mindset shifts for me was realizing this. A woman's body, especially after having babies, does not feel safe when it's underfed. As a matter of fact, it goes into modes of stress. It's basically telling you that it has to hold on to fat because it doesn't know when it's going to get its next meal. And that's the worst thing you can do as a woman. For years, I avoided fats. They were like the enemy: lean chicken breasts, low fat everything, no butter, no red meat. And looking back now, that was dangerous to my hormones. When I finally started eating fatty meats instead of only lean meats, my body responded differently. My cravings calmed down. My brain felt clearer. I stayed full longer. And that's one of the keys to actually maintaining and achieving your fat loss. Because when you're full longer, you don't give in to those cravings when you're grocery shopping or when you're at your birthday party with your friends, or, anytime you're out, you're not surrounded by the foods that you actually want to eat or need to eat. So it's actually really good to help you stay satiated. But this was all a shock to me. Trying carnivore for about 6 months, just meats and butter. At first, I felt amazing, less bloated, steady energy, simple meals. But long term, I noticed things I couldn't ignore. My hair and even my eyebrows started shedding. And that was my body telling me you're missing something. I remember actually we traveled to Nigeria as a family, and I remember looking back at the photos and all of my hair was gone. And I couldn't understand why. I was eating meats, and that's protein, right? Eggs, that's protein. So I'm assuming, okay, I should really be growing a lot of hair, but no. So what it was telling me was that I was missing something. And that something was nutrients. And a lot of that was found in supplements. And I'll get into that a little bit later. So if I could do that whole season over again, I wouldn't fear carnivore, but I would never do it without supplements and more intention. And that's another thing I've learned. For these supplements, it's a non-negotiable, not in a trendy way, but in a modern food just isn't enough for my body way. There was a point when a doctor finally said, okay, let's try metformin, progesterone, and T3. And part of me felt relieved, like, okay, finally, someone has an answer. But another part of me whispered, what if your body can do this without the drugs? So I stopped everything, decided to try the slow, natural road. Granted, it was painful because I did gain some weight, but this was real food, steady movement, lowering stress, supporting my body instead of forcing it. And that's still the path that I'm on, and it's working. I've also learned that how I move matters. I can hate the treadmill with my whole heart some days. 20 minutes in, and I'm like, I'm bored, I'm irritated, and I'm just watching the clock. But if I go outside, I can walk for hours and not even notice the time. And for a long time, I didn't know why that was happening. I just knew my body clearly preferred it. But here's what I've learned. When you walk outside, your body gets more than just steps. You get fresh air, increased oxygen, which helps your muscles work more efficiently. You're naturally engaging more muscles, and because the ground isn't perfectly flat, those tiny stabilizer muscles have to help you balance and move. But honestly, the biggest difference for me has been the stress. Being outdoors lowers stress hormones just naturally. Sunlight, fresh air, and even just seeing trees or open space tells your nervous system, okay, you're safe. And when your stress is lower, your body's more willing to let go of weight. Now, that doesn't mean treadmills are bad, okay? Treadmills are great when you want something predictable. They're lower impact, controlled, and really help if you're recovering from injury, easing back into movement, or just need something consistent when life is chaotic. So I don't think it's an either or situation. Outdoor walking is amazing for mental health, stress reduction, and overall fitness. Treadmills are great for consistency and structure. So the real takeaway, and this has been huge for me, the best movement is the one you'll actually do regularly. Some days my body wants fresh air and space, and some days it wants easy and controlled. Both count. And lately, I've been experimenting with adding a little challenge by walking with a weighted vest. Not to punish myself, just to gently increase effort without spiking stress. Another huge lesson has been ingredients. Not calories, ingredients. Reading labels changed everything. Cutting out ultra processed foods, seed oils, artificial junk, and also this term that I just recently learned, and I've noticed that it's on everything, contains bioengineered food ingredients. I mean, I remember going to Costco and Sam's Club, and I wanted to buy cereal for the kids. We cut out cereal for a number of different reasons. We just couldn't find a brand that was 100% natural. And I remember going down the aisle and literally not seeing one single brand that didn't have that bioengineered food ingredient comment. And I kept saying, does this mean that there's no healthy cereal? No, it doesn't. Just had to do a little bit more digging. And I found it, and I'll probably mention that in a different video. But that wasn't always the case. I mean, I used to live on diet foods and artificial sweeteners a lot, and I thought I was being healthy. Now I avoid most of them. And if I need anything, allulose seems to be the one my body tolerates the best. But honestly, I just try to avoid them at all costs. None of this was one magical fix. It was a lot of small discoveries stacked together, and I'm still figuring it out. I mean, I'm 150 pounds right now, and I'm aiming for around 130 to 125 to be very lean, athletic, and lots of muscles. But I want to do it the healthy way, not starving, no extremes, and not being afraid of food. Just learning how to be on my body's team. So if you're someone who's tried the strict diets, the apps, the eat less, move more speech, and you still feel stuck, I want you to know you're not crazy. Your body is just talking, and we just have to learn its language. Next week, I want to talk about movement, specifically why more intense workouts made me feel worse and actually gain weight, and how slowing down actually moved me forward. I'll see you then.